Hello everyone, my name is John Adams and welcome to Keysight's Channel Vision. Today I will be joined by Greg Copeland. Greg has held many titles such as Director of Product Support, or Director of Business Management, or Director of Business Development and Alliances, and now Greg is part of our go-to-market team. Greg's going to be joining us today to talk about Zero Trust. So some points to know about Zero Trust are, everything on the network is hostile. Every device must be authenticated and authorized. The clear point in this architecture is that everything must be checked, visibility must be provided to ensure all these checks are being made, and more or less, everyone has to always show their ID. So, Greg, please take it away.
Hi everyone, Greg Copeland here from Keysight. I wanted to introduce to you today the topic of Zero Trust and specifically talk about some of the components where Keysight fits into Zero Trust. So what is Zero Trust anyway, and why did it come about? So you may have heard the old saying, trust but verify. In the Zero Trust world, it might be more suitable to say, don't trust but still verify. And the basic premise of Zero Trust is now you have assets that are not necessarily in a secure enterprise. They're out in the cloud. They're bringing your own device. They work from home. These trends, of course, are more and more prevalent today due to the pandemic and existing trends. So Zero Trust architectures came about as a way to ensure that no matter where someone was using resource, no matter where their workflows were going to and from or where their device might live, that you could secure that and ensure that it had integrity regardless of where those devices and workflows were. So, for example, key components or core components of Zero Trust rely heavily on things like identity management, authentication, authorization at the workflow and application level, and not just at the network level. So you're not relying on the network anymore to provide security because the network doesn't really have an enterprise perimeter anymore. So with that, those are the core components, but there are also other components that remain equally important. So for example, if in a Zero Trust network, these assets could live anywhere, it's even more important than ever to have visibility into what's happening with that traffic. So in the old world, in your corporate network, you had eyes on and you had a pretty good idea of what traffic was going back and forth. In a world of Zero Trust, with these assets dispersed, it's even more important. So you have to have visibility. And in fact, the National Institute of Standards and Technology, when they talk about a Zero Trust architecture, visibility components such as network traffic monitoring and asset discovery are included. And these are areas where Keysight, through our visibility offerings, both on-prem and in the cloud and in a hybrid world, which is where Zero Trust live, can be very important. So later, when we do some additional trainings and webinars, we'll speak to that in more detail, and we invite you to come back for that. Another component of Zero Trust that is very important is the concept of continually running diagnostics and verifying the integrity and security of your Zero Trust architecture. Because these assets could be anywhere, from the endpoints or the containers or wherever those workflows live, you have to be able to do vulnerability assessments and test whether your security is valid. Actually run threats back and forth in a simulated manner between endpoints and different entities in your Zero Trust architecture. Get a report back of what threats are getting through or not getting through. Get some recommendations on how to further secure your Zero Trust environment. Some things that are out in the cloud that maybe need to be moved back. Some things that are out at a home office that need to be secured more fully. Particular threats that are getting through that need to be patched, and so on and so forth. This type of assessment, what Keysight calls threat simulation, where you verify the threats in a live but simulated and safe way, is very, very important in a Zero Trust architecture. And we'll talk later in upcoming sessions about how we can help that need with Keysight threat simulation solutions. So we invite you to come back, stay tuned for more, and thank you for learning about Zero Trust from Keysight.